Hello, my name is Reverend Dr. May Elise Cannon. Today is Tuesday, the 19th of August, 2025, 683 days after October 7th, 2023. Not a day when things began, but a day where the world changed forever. 683 days of almost continual bombing of the Gaza Strip, and now the forced starvation of virtually the entire population there. Updates from the last 24 hours, the Palestinian death toll in the 22 months of war between Israel and Hamas, as I mentioned yesterday, surpassed 62,000 people. Those wounded is at 156,230 people wounded. Those are numbers from yesterday. I also mentioned yesterday, Hamas accepted a new Gaza ceasefire proposal that was first put forward by Qatar and Egypt. This was according to two diplomats and an Egyptian official. According to sources, the latest terms are similar to those that Israel had previously accepted, but it's still unclear if Netanyahu or Israel is going to accede to that proposal. Israel's former chief of military intelligence, Major General Aharon Haliva, has said that the fact that there are already 50,000 dead in Gaza is necessary and required. 50 Palestinians should die for every Israeli that was killed during the October 7th attacks. So said Major General Haliva, the former chief of military intelligence of Israel. He said this before the weekend on Channel 12 News. Now, it's unclear when Haliva made those remarks, which constitute the first recorded instance of a former senior Israeli military figure endorsing the high death toll in the war. In terms of Lebanon, the Lebanese government has, quote, done their part, end quote, in endorsing a U.S.-backed plan for the Hezbollah militant group to disarm. What we need is for Israel to comply with that equal handshake. That was the U.S. Special Envoy to Lebanon, Tom Barak. He said that yesterday following months of trilateral shuttle diplomacy aiming at long-term cessation of the Lebanon-Israel hostilities. Related to Syria, the former Assad regime forced the disappearances of hundreds of children, conspiring with ministers and governors to place children of political prisoners into orphanages. This is according to an investigation that was published by the New York Times. Shane Bauer was the investigative reporter. The regime sent children to at least 9 care centers, 6 of which were a part of the SOS Children's Villages International. This is according to Bauer's documents and interviews. Other news from the Middle East, displacing Palestinians from Gaza is a red line for Egypt, so said the foreign minister Abdel Hadi. He told CNN, adding that Cairo will not accept it, nor will they participate in it, nor will they allow for it to happen. A record 383 aid workers have been killed in the line of duty in 2024, with a 31% surge in deaths compared to the 2023 driven by the conflicts in Gaza and Sudan. So 31% increase in the number of aid workers who've been killed compared to 2023 numbers. And that's in large part because of not only Gaza, but also Sudan, according to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. An additional 308 aid workers have been wounded, 125 kidnapped, and 45 detained between those conflicts around the world. An update on Christians related to the Middle East. The World Evangelical Alliance just announced this weekend that it has officially appointed a new CEO, and the CEO is a Palestinian Christian from the village of Nazareth. Advocate Boutros Mansour will be their new Secretary General and CEO. Since April 2024, the WEA has been without a CEO. They went through a 6-month search process and interview process. Advocate Mansour shared some thoughts after the decision was announced. I'm deeply humbled by the decision to trust in me. I'm acutely aware of the immense responsibility it carries. I'm keenly aware that this will need hearts, minds, and hands to join together across the global WEA family. With God's grace, I will work relentlessly with others to remove any obstacles that might seek to hinder our unity. I wanted to close by letting you know there's been another attack on the Ali hospital in Gaza. Churches for Middle East Peace just put out a statement condemning this, calling for the safeguarding of healthcare facilities following the attacks on Ali in Gaza City. So this statement was put out today on the 19th from Churches for Middle East Peace, which I lead. saying that we stand in solidarity with the Episcopal Diocese of Jerusalem following the horrific airstrike on the Ali Hospital that happened on the 18th of August, yesterday. This took the lives of 7 people, further devastated an already collapsing health system. Prior to the strike, there were reports that an armed local outlaw band entered the hospital, set fire to the morgue and staff prayer room, and opened fire inside the facility, forcing doctors, nurses, and patients to flee. Such actions desecrate a sacred place of healing, endanger the most vulnerable, and strip the people of Gaza of their last remaining places of refuge. This attack, in part, is a part of a disturbing pattern of violence against medical facilities in Gaza, which the UN has described as Israel's policy of medicide. The systematic targeting and destruction of hospitals and clinics is not only a violation of international law, but unconscionable, as it's an assault on human dignity, leaving thousands of people without access to life-saving care that they so desperately need. So Churches for Middle East Peace joins along with the Diocese of Jerusalem in condemning the act, urgently calling on all parties to the conflict, including Israeli forces and local armed groups in Gaza, to ensure that hospitals remain safe, demilitarized sanctuaries for civilians. The continued targeting of medical facilities erodes the last spaces of refuge for the Gaza population, compounding the humanitarian catastrophe and further endangering innocent lives. The international community must act decisively to uphold the sanctity of healthcare, to protect all those who are seeking safety and treatment from within the hospital walls. You can read the full statement by the Episcopal Diocese of Jerusalem on CMEP's website, and I'd encourage you to do so. Again, it's an opportunity to write op-eds, letters to your editor, to pass on the news of what's happening in Gaza and other places where there's conflict in the Middle East. So that's the update from the last 24 hours. May we not give up hope. May we continue to call for a comprehensive, permanent ceasefire, and may it come quickly. In the name of Christ, amen.